All right, thank you for staying with us. We go to the headline segment right now where we read out, headlines from our major dailies. And we'll be starting with the Guardian newspaper. Guardian newspaper. World Patient Safety Day. Nigeria battles spike in medical errors, negligence in hospitals. It's quite instructive, and you have a picture there of a patient on the bed and medical personnel attending to that patient, and with a word from one of the personnel saying, "But I told you to give him 2 micrograms of insulin, not milligrams. You better start thinking of a family friendly way of explaining his death." And this is when, that might be fatal at the end of the day, and or is fatal already, because when one of these guys is telling the other, prepare your explanation, and you will talk about his death. And many persons have really cried out about these issues as well, about perceived negligence and errors on the part of medical personnel, be it doctors, radiographers, radiologists, nurses, attendants, or even record keepers in the hospitals, making a mess of what they are supposed to do. And with writers saying after 8 chemo sessions rather, 25 rounds of radiotherapy, single mastectomy, cancer diagnosis turn out an error. That's from a patient there. 8 chemo sessions, 25 rounds of radiotherapy, single mastectomy, cancer diagnosis turns out to be an error. To start with, diagnostic errors responsible for 16% of patients' harm, and practitioners blame lack of standard infrastructure for quality care. And we are a dumping ground for quackery, fake, substandard, unvalidated kits and devices. AMLSN president. This is a lot. Trust us to look into this, in the coming days. And away from that, panic in Abuja over vibrations from multiple earth tremors. Okay, we should investigate what is really going on. Not just about the panicking, but the agency involved should swing into action. And we should take the action when the research is done as well and the information is given. Lagos state government seeks accountability, says misdiagnosis cost patient 40% more. And FRSC Act, the illegality, in bracket, and the legality of being accuser, prosecutor, and judge. That's the FRSC Act. Somebody saying we should look into that. And minister warns of 300 million youth unemployment in Africa. And scientists confirm new fast-spreading COVID variant. Again, and Clark Lord Dangote urges support for local refining. Federal government to unbundle 115 government colleges. Court rejects Lagos AG's move to stop 1.35 billion naira fraud case. Why? And on the coming election, INEC taxed on credibility as 379,245 PVCs are uncollected in Edo State. At this point, I'd like to bring in Ladeji Alabi to give us analysis of these stories. Ladeji, good morning.
Good morning to you, Femi, and it
Yeah,
feels good to be here again. Good morning, Evelyn.
Ladeji.
yeah. And this is your African print design. Is giving.
Of course, yes, we are Africans, we are Nigerians, and we are always proud of the heritage.
Okay. And let's take it from the medical. Today is World Patient Safety Day, by the way. Medical angle, Nigeria battles spike in medical errors and negligence in hospitals. And I'd like to read this first part, which is quite bizarre. After 8 chemo sessions, 25 rounds, 8 chemo sessions, by the way, 25 rounds of radiotherapy, single mastectomy, cancer diagnosis turns out to be an error. That's from a patient. Because we're talking about what patient safety day.
Yeah. Patient safety. It's really an important issue that a lot of people have complained about in Nigeria over the years, negligence by healthcare officials. We've seen issues of somebody being rushed to the hospital, maybe somebody involved in an accident or something on the road, and the hospital tells you, go get a police report, and they left the person there for dead. It is a big issue, and it is something that conversation should go around every now and then. But beyond that, Femi, also on the flip side of that, to play the devil's advocate for healthcare officials also, I think we need more hands in our hospitals. That's just the reality. If you have overused a single person, errors are bound to happen. If a single patient, a single doctor or a single nurse or two nurses are attending to over 100 patients in a day, then errors are bound to happen. So we need more hands in our hospitals. We need more hands. Then we need training and retraining of these people, because they are humans too. And the moment we overuse them, I know what I'm saying if I'm talking about being overused.
Yeah.
I've seen a situation. One of these days, I was in the hospital with someone, and about 2 medical doctors actually attended to over 25 children. And you know how difficult it is to diagnose a baby, because they cannot speak yet. So you just have to, okay, what is wrong with him? What is wrong with her? That's what you do to actually get what you want to prescribe for them. If you have only 2 people attending to over 25 kids, that means they will be overwhelmed. So we need more hands. And beyond that, also, we need training and retraining, and check these people every now and then to see that you are there to take care of people, not to actually make them lose their life unnecessarily.
Very well. I quite agree, especially it's obvious that most medical institutions are short-staffed because people are living in droves as well. But this particular one, the error started from, the diagnosis. Somebody I was told you are having cancer already. And from then, mastectomy is the removal of the private organ, the part of the private organ of the man, and all these things followed as well. But how about regulations and prosecution?
Now, Femi, before you even get to the level of regulation and prosecutions, how many of most of the time you've been to an hospital, most of the time you see a doctor, what is happening to you, what is wrong with you, it's a guesswork. It is. How many of those things are actually are confirmed through the scientific means, maybe through machine detection, they just tell you, okay.
One can assume before somebody can be said to be having cancer, it must have been investigations from machines and experience.
Femi, you and I know for one that in Nigeria you can be diagnosed of something, and that's why most of the time I don't just make my complaints to doctors. What I do most of the time is, okay, so I contact friends that are doctors, and I ask them, I feel like running this test. Do you get?
And sometimes people are told to seek second opinion.
Of course, yes. I've seen situations whereby something as simple as getting your blood group, there are errors. Because apparently maybe in some of the labs you have
mixed up the names.
Mix up of names,
and it could be costly.
Of course, yes.
It
could scatter a family. It could actually make a family that want to start, not go ahead with whatever they want to do. So these are issues that need to be tackled from the foundation. What equipment are we providing for our hospitals? Who are the personnel manning these things? And how well do we check? Who are the people supervising them? So a young doctor has confirmed, has said something. Let me give you an instance. 2013, my dad and I were involved in an accident. And a resident doctor said, oh, this man is this and that. And when his consultant came, he said, do you know what you are saying? Because he was saying negative, and the consultant said, no, this man just needs to be placed on 1 or 2 things for next 3 months. He'll be fine. And that was just what happened. The man lived 9 years after that accident.
So the place of mentorship for younger
of course, yes.
medical
that
personnel.
is why you have consultants.
These are experience.
They are well grounded in this field. So we need all those, as our processes of medical.
I agree. That will be all from the front page of the Guardian.
Let's shift to Nigerian Tribune at this time. On Nigerian Tribune, PDP BOT meets Wike behind closed doors. With riders, you cannot set Bauchi on fire. Governor dares FCT minister. Insists PDP Governors Forum stands by Fubara. And away from that, ECOWAS targets $12 billion capital investment for Lagos Abidjan Road project. And still on the Tribune, Nigerian Tribune this morning, 2.2 million registered voters collected PVCs in Edo. This is coming from INEC, as we all know that it counts down to the big day for Edo State. Flooding, 250,000 persons at risk of being displaced in Kogi, government warns, establishes 42 IDP camps, and banditry, killings now, no room for excuses, Danjuma tells service chiefs. It is illegal for NNPCL to fix price of Dangote petrol. The legal luminary, Femi Falana, is speaking, and FARC, FG states LGs share 1.203 trillion naira August revenue. And it's very important that we state that the FG also, we're always quick to say, oh, the revenue for the states has tripled. The revenue for the federal government also has tripled. So it's not just only about the states and local governments. Still, FG to unbundle 115 Unity colleges. Makinde flags off upgrade of Ibadan Airport today. And 8 killed, 2,800 injured as Hezbollah fighters' pagers explode in alleged Israeli attack. That's outside of Nigeria. And coming back to Nigeria, Abure-led LP fights back as Usman interim leadership seeks INEC's recognition. And lastly, from here, Supreme Court's judgment on LG financial autonomy may only remain implementable on paper. Niyi Akintola says. Okay, so many talking points on the Nigerian Tribune this morning. So, Ladeji, let me just have your view on this one by Femi Falana saying it is illegal for NNPCL to fix price of Dangote petrol. I know you've really had a hard time in the past weeks, getting fuel. And it seems that is the story of many Nigerians at this time. So what do you think?
Well, it is a leveler. It is just a leveler. Every one of us go out there, irrespective of, if you go out there defending the government, if you go out there defending the NNPC, if you go out there defending what is not defendable. It is a leveler. I'm not buying cheaper than anybody. Nobody's buying cheaper than myself. We all buy at the rate of between 950 and 1,000, above 1,000 naira. So it is what it is, and we all enjoy it. It is a mandate we are setting on.
You feel
Are you really enjoying it?
No, that's the reality. We are enjoying it.
Sarcasm.
It's not sarcasm. Evelyn,
how do you mean
Nigerians are enjoying it. What was the percentage of increment in 2012 before everybody shut down the nation? What was the percentage? The current government met PMS at how much? How much are they selling now? We are enjoying it. That's just the reality. Okay. If we are not, all of us should know where we are going to be now. But yes, the romance between, I don't know why NNPCL, yes, they invested in this. According to them, they invested in a particular amount of money in Dangote refinery, but it's a private business, apparently. And the question a lot of Nigerians have been asking is, why is it that, there is something they call the line cost, in production of PMS, in refining PMS. Yeah. Economists have come out to, analyze these things. And they said, so far, the exchange rate is still as high as 1,600 naira to $1. The line cost will still be high. That is why you see a PMS refined in Lekki, Nigeria is higher than what we import from Malta. Do you get? Now, so it's just sad that that's our reality. But also for me, as a person, I feel NNPCL needs to come out clean. And Dangote also needs to come out clean. In all these things, Nigerians have a lot of Nigeria, excluding myself. Because I told people last year, a lot of people were like, oh, the moment Dangote refinery begin to roll out PMS, we're going to be buying for 300. I said, no. Even if it's going to be cheaper than the government's own, it's still not going to be around 300 because this guy has invested a lot of money into this thing. He needs to make back his money. He's not there as a Father Christmas. It is. an investment that he has. Don't forget, when he was building this refinery, he dropped down who are these people that rank them billionaires in the world. He dropped down the pecking order because of the money he invested in this. So he needs to make back his money. So NNPCL needs to really come out clean to Nigerians. What is your interest in this? Why is it that the PMS we are refining in Nigeria is still costlier than what we claim we are importing? And also, he brings, I'm coming, Evelyn. It comes out to tell you again, this for Nigerians that can connect the dots, that NNPCL and the federal government are still paying subsidy on imported PMS.
All right. In Dangote defense, they released a statement saying that this current batch of PMS that they are rolling out or churning out is from crude oil they bought outside of Nigeria, not within, it was imported crude oil, not what they bought here. So they have to sell based on, Naira dollar ratings. So
you still come back to the point that the devaluation of our Naira, the exchange rate, the FX is still a major, thing in this whole thing. The fact that the dollar to a Naira is still on the high side will affect, irrespective of where you buy from, will still affect, because the line, cost is converted in dollars, in FX. And if we have 1,600 or 1,600 and some changes to a dollar, then it means it will affect them. And this business, you don't do it because you want to just show people that you love them. You also need to, because if you don't make the money to pay your staffers, then how do you remain in business? And it's still the same people that will complain he's a bad businessman, he's not making money, that's why the business closed down. So he needs to make money, the business needs to keep running.
All right, I would have loved to take you more on that, but that is where we'll draw the lines for Nigerian Tribune. We'll take on the Punch.
Yeah, quickly from the front page of the Tribune. The Punch, rather, for this morning, 35,000 corps arrived at Edo as joint forces begin patrol. That's on the governorship hall in Edo State. The military, NSCDC, FCC personnel, backup police team, INEC, tracks ballot boxes movement. And you can see just below that, police parade 2,740 suspected kidnappers, others with 4,087 ammunition rounds. And you can see those weapons there, and some of those paraded by the police. And Bottom Street, PDP shifts neck meeting over state Congress crisis. 3 Oyo students remanded for allegedly causing colleagues' death. And federal government alerts 11 states as Cameroon plans Lagdo Dam release. And executive order, Tinubu asks $2.5 billion investment. How federal government earned $1.29 billion from telecom licensees of Basanjo. 3 marketers to import 141 million liters petrol, and 20 governors borrow fresh 446 billion naira as revenues tumble. But I'd like to take this human angle story. Ladeji, 3 Oyo students remanded for allegedly causing colleagues' death. In the past 3 weeks or thereabout, there have been, reported cases of young people snuffing life out of their fellow young persons, and some of them 19, 17, 18, 20, 21, from schools, some of them from romance related issues. What is going on?
Well, we have a terrible situation in our hands, Femi. You can link this up to a lot of things, a lot of negative things our youths are consuming on social media.
To kill is now
it's just
appearing too easy.
Human lives literally have no values again. I saw a news last week of a young guy that killed his girlfriend, and he said he met an herbalist on TikTok. Who said he should, chop the remove some parts of the girl's body. And what the question I ask is, the herbalist that has killed two, he has a lot of women in his life. Why didn't he remove part of them and he becomes rich? It shows if you don't work, you won't become whatever you want to become. All these lies of you go and bring people's parts, they just want to turn you to. It's sad because every time you open the news, every time you open the internet, you see people that claim they were lovers, and you this someone you claim you love, somebody asks you to kill her, somebody asks you to bring a particular part of her body, and you joyfully, did that to the person. In the first instance, you don't love that person. And I think it is high time we go back to the foundation, which is, let us preach to our youth that you don't become billionaires just by wishing, just by singing it. Dangote Olori Meji. Yes, it doesn't have two heads, but it's working hard. Otedola is working hard. All these big guys, Okoya is working hard. They don't just become what they became by just wishing or by just thinking about cutting one woman part of the body to become whatever they became. So our youth need to understand this, and you don't just wake up today and want to become what your father did not become in 15 years. I think our value system has dropped drastically, and it is high time every well-meaning Nigerians, go out, and also religious houses need to, be up and doing this. We don't have to start, quote and unquote, preaching about just prosperity alone. You can become billionaire in the next 24 hours, and you want to. Yes, God does wonders. I believe in miracles, but you have to work. God will only bless the works of your hand, not the laziness in you. You can't be a lazy person and expect God to bless you. If you are not working, God will not bless you, and that's just, it's not a curse, it is just the reality.
Ladeji, how about parental negligence?
Of course, another angle, Femi. Another angle
from home.
There is a Yoruba adage.
Either tacitly, directly or indirectly.
Femi, there is a Yoruba adage. I don't know how to paraphrase in English. But he said your child is not is not into laundry business,
and
is bringing clothes. There are a lot of parents. Femi, it has gone back to the level that we had a particular. I can't confirm myself, but I had stories of mothers taking their children to go and learn Yahoo business.
From Egbon Adugbos.
You've seen situations whereby the parents begin to tell their children, can't you see your friend? See the car is riding. You care less the work he's doing. All you care about, and what we care about as a society now is what we judge, successful people with is, the car he rides, the kind of houses he builds. We care less how this person becomes whatever he becomes. Yeah. So parenting is also, and also parents, it's I do tell people, you can't be in Nigeria and want to train an American child. It's not possible. In this part of the world, we beat children. Femi, you cannot tell me you were not well beaten when you were growing up. You won't turn out. No, of course, yes. When I was in primary, secondary school, I dare not bring something that is normal. My dad knows what he gives to me before going to school. So you see an extra, you will explain. And we were not, even in the middle class. So you will explain now, just in few hours, 8 hours in school, 6 hours in school, you afforded what you couldn't afford before going. So these are some of the issues, but these days they will tell you, even the government will tell you children right. Ayomode will already see you, and you must, use something to push it out.
I think two truths can coexist. The right of the children
Femi,
supersedes the correction of the parents.
Yeah. Maybe spank.
Femi,
correct.
Evelyn, just use whatever grammar you want to use.
Just make sure
your child is
parenting
because
well.
Now all this grammar we are blowing, that is why we have the menace in the society. We speak too much grammars. We want to be like the white. We want to, and most of the time it is not civilization. We are just being westernized. That's the reality.
Right.
We want to, jettison our culture, all in the name of we want to be like the white. We cannot be like them. Be like an African. Train up your child. That is when we will have a sane society. Today you cannot put two blocks on each other in this city, and you see some young guys that on a normal day, they won't look into your eyes, Femi.
Yeah.
But they will tell you, you will give us money for it. If you don't give them, they will come and break down those blocks.
Issues.
And you are telling me you are speaking grammars. If the parents are taking care of that,
I agree,
will you come and disturb you on site?
Yeah, and I think, let me put this one there, especially for young ladies as well. And I think this is a time to wise up. If there is
of course, yes.
Like
be
that.
Careful.
Don't
wake up
love,
today.
Either love in strange places or love
you want to use an iPhone 16 that just came out.
Please
and you are a jobless person. You are a thief.
Okay, but then I was about to ask the question, Ladeji, that do you consider the female gender endangered at this time? We have heard stories and news, not just in Nigeria, all across Africa, where girls, even those that are not in a love romantic relationship with the person, but they get kidnapped, they get abducted, and they get killed in the most gruesome manner. So, but do you think the female gender at this time is endangered?
Evelyn, beyond even the female gender, I think the world is in danger. And it's a danger of, mutual suspicion. You don't know who to trust again. Even friends that are guys now are killing themselves.
Yeah.
Friends that are guys. I had a story of, even a lady to a lady just yesterday on X. I saw the story. The lady had her friend is traveling, will be traveling out of Nigeria next week. And she stabbed her to death. For what? For what reason? Your friend is traveling, is leaving the country. And because maybe you are hungry, you are not happy for her, and you tag. That's why, in this generation, it is easy for people to say, she's my friend, is my friend. Friendship is not just something you pick on the road. You would have known each other very well before you confirm this person is truly my friend. If you are my friend and you see I'm becoming successful, and the next thing that comes to your head is to stab me to death, then in the first place you are not my friend. So we are all in danger. That's why I agree with Femi. Family, which is the foundation, we need to take it seriously, and parents need to handle their, because the moment we are producing terrible children into the society, you and I are not safe. That's the reality.
Right. And as we round up this session, I like to say as well, just like that, a mutual suspect is just suspicion. It's just everywhere, and we've seen, online, of ladies abducting other ladies, beating them up, putting their videos online just because they heard that the lady that's been beaten is having an affair with their own guy.
With their dogu.
Which, thank you very much, Ladeji Alabi. This is the point where, allow me to be a bit blunt this morning. We should all have sense, either as a guy, or I'm talking to young people now, or as a lady. This romance thing, be careful. You are in point A and you are traveling to point wherever, Port Novo. But the way, we should all be careful. We take this quick break right now. When we return, we'll be speaking to, the coming days, the preparations, sensitive materials, non sensitive materials, the state of the readiness of INEC, security agencies, transporters, the fear situation, and how it will all go down on Saturday, September 21, in the beautiful, the nation's big heart, right?
Heartbeat.
Heartbeat.
Mr.
All right.
Taken.
Fine. Thank you very much. We'll be back. Stay with us.